Everyone, and welcome back to Middle Age Gaming. Today is the closest we're going to be getting to Halloween. So, we're going to be talking all about spooky stuff, scary games, horror games, our favorite monsters, that sort of thing. And that's basically it. There's no other theme.
Yeah, so to wrap up, this is gonna be a very short show today. Thank you very
Yep.
much for
yeah,
watching.
right.
Thanks for listening. It was good.
Too early.
Yeah, so what was your first? Do you remember what your first horror game was? The first spooky one?
Um, Good question. Probably Resident Evil. From thinking again, like it wasn't a genre. I came from like the old Spectrum, and then onto Mega Drive and Master Systems, and I don't even. I'm trying to think. Was there even popular horror games at the sort of like the inception of those? I don't really think it was a genre that came along very early.
Yeah, you had some spooky
Maybe
ones like Ghosts and Goblins, and I mean, but I wouldn't call those horror games. I mean, maybe Castlevania, Metroid had some elements of it, the paranoia kind of thing. But
it's okay. Halloween, you can widen it a bit. It's not necessarily horror,
oh
like
yeah,
fairy tales and slashers would count too,
oh yeah.
if that helps.
Well, we talk about anything kind of spooky. So I got a couple
Yeah.
different little questions, I guess, little categories that we can talk about. But for me, definitely the first horror game, and I guess mostly they're called survival horror, would have been the original. Bleh, can't talk today. The original Resident Evil was the first one that I played. But I think the one that really, because as a kid I was kind of like Korean, like I got spooked very easily. Um, a lot of movies would scare me. I freaked out when I saw Little Shop of Horrors, and I was like, nope, 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 nope. Uh, the black and white one. But yeah, so I was pretty easily freaked out. My brother liked the scary stuff, but I didn't. But then as I got older, I got more into it, and I think the first game that really kind of for me that was like, okay, I'm actually enjoying this was the original Silent Hill, and then Silent Hill 2. I think so. I think Silent Hill for me is kind of the one that really got me in, uh, just because with the Resident Evil, yeah, I don't know. I think it's just the way they did the corridor cameras and stuff like that. But also, I think it was because those ones I would usually kind of play at my friend's house, play a little bit, come back the next week. They're in a different place, so I'm not really like following it. I'm playing it, but I'm not really like following it very well. Whereas Silent Hill was one of the first ones that I basically played by myself, alone in the dark. So, yeah. All right.
And now he's playing Dread Out.
And now I'm playing Dread Out, and I'm really enjoying it. Dread Out 2 definitely improved on a lot of the
It's really
things.
cool, huh?
Yeah, the first one, I enjoyed the first one, but the first one definitely had some issues that you could tell were not not quite glitches, but kind of, you could tell that it wasn't fully.
It needs some polish.
Yeah, it needed some polish, and like for instance, walking through doors. Sometimes if you walk through a door and you turn the corner just a little bit too quickly, it would flip you around backwards. I don't know why it would do that. It was weird. Um, but in the second one definitely got a lot more polish. It fixed a lot of those issues, and definitely is graphically much better. You're moving around to a bunch of different places. They've added combat to it in some parts, so yeah, it's definitely, I'm really enjoying the second one. So
And Linda isn't scared of anything.
no, or I'm not sure if
This
he's not
girl.
scared of anything, or if it's one of those situations where it's like, this is my life. I don't really have a choice right now. I kind of have to do this. Yeah, exactly. I think she's more of because in the first one she never talked. I thought that was kind of interesting that everybody kind of
Mhm.
talks around her, and especially because they kind of juxtaposed her with her really chatty friend, who's just and Linda's just like so just, she doesn't really say anything. And then in the second one, I guess she's kind of quiet because she's kind of the weird girl and she's experienced these things and she's kind of traumatized. But the way other people talk to her, it seems that she does talk. but we just never hear her talking. So
So if you like these games, I can recommend another one in the same style, Southeast Asia as well, which was called Araya, if I recall.
you know how to spell that?
Araya.
Araya. All right, I'll have to check that one out too.
Very spooky.
And Fatal Frame is was it the Black Maiden or something like that is getting a remake, which is comes out maybe today. I know it comes out in October, and then but here in Taiwan we're just getting the Asian version of it. But it's kind of funny because usually it'll say like, Chinese, Japanese, English version, and this one just says, I guess, Japanese, Chinese. But it actually, if you look at the notes, it'll say it says that there will be an English patch on November 5th. So I was thinking about getting
So
that
nice.
one, but I'll have to save it for next year. So, all right, but going into kind of spooky moments, do you guys have any games that kind of surprised you where you weren't expecting them to be scary and they kind of freaked you out a little bit? I've heard people say that about Subnautica, where they're like, "Oh yeah, it's not a scary game," and then they're like, "Nope, nope, it's definitely a terrifying
Um,
game."
Yeah, that's like these American movies which say it's horror. No, it's not horror. If you want to see horror, watch a Japanese movie. It's tensed with some jump scare. Jump scare is not horror. It's just like you're not expecting something and paf, you're scared. You can't call this horror. Subnautica is a bit the same. I really love it. That's why I know very much. It's kind of tense because in the White Sea, you never know when the Reaper is gonna come, and when he comes on you, you better run very fast, and that's why you're always tensed in there. Even though there's might be nothing around you, you're always very tensed, and you see a shadow, and you're like, ah. That's how it goes. So more tense than horrific, really. But play Subnautica. Absolutely, that's fantastic game.
All right.
1 and 2. 1 better than 2, but still 2 is good.
What about you, Phil? Not really your thing.
Not that I can think of. I mean, it's similar. Like, there's just moments where something might happen, Doom and things like that, where, again, it's not necessarily going to be scary and freaky and weirded out as much. But there are games that I've wanted to play that I know have been like that. And I always forget the name, and I always forget to download it. There's one where you're supposed to take pills to make you think everything's happy and the world is a happy place.
Oh,
And you don't take them, and you're starting to see everything for the real situation, but you've got to survive and blend in. And it's almost based on like a role play game that I used to play, which was very similar, where you've always got to be happy and you've always got to work together as a cooperative. But I can't remember the name of the game.
should be
Can you
We
remember?
Happy Few, right?
Yes, that's it. And I kind of want to play that, and for the same reason that it looks not necessarily jump out, and afraid, but just that whole situation of trying to act something that you're not, with the worry about being caught. I think would be more interesting.
Yeah, it's like a
But maybe I
paranoia.
need to try it out. Yeah.
Have you guys seen what was it called, Hello Neighbor?
Well, I had to get my kids off of it.
Oh, really?
Because it's because it's extremely popular on YouTube videos for kids. And at first I heard about my kids saying, "Oh, Hello Neighbor." Oh, what are they watching? And I see that and I'm like, the hell are you watching? Stop watching that. That's not for you. You're gonna have nightmares. You're not gonna. So yeah, that's something parents very likely like me know about, and keep your kids out of it. It's kind of a game of tag, but with a weird neighbor who's gonna try to kill you if he catch you. There was some similar game with a grandma.
Granny.
Yeah,
My
Granny,
students here I have a student here who absolutely loves the game and he always talks about it. So I was like, Granny this, Granny that.
I don't mind as long as they are, a bit older than mine, because they are 6 and 10. And when they have nightmares after that, it's like, okay, no more tablet for you. You're not respecting the rules. Those scary stuff. So yeah, it was horrific, but in a totally different world for me.
Yeah, Yeah, I thought that one kind of looked interesting too. But yeah, when I saw We Happy Few, it kind of made me think of Hello Neighbor with the whole kind of like, you've got this community and it's not quite right, and you're trying to survive through it. I know the gameplay is quite different, but